I came back to retail after 8 years. That's a long time to be free, my friend. And this is how it went. Place your bets, everyone. Is this gonna be the game's good and I'm happy to back experience? Or the I'm sad that I chose to come back experience? Oof, let's see.
I never thought I'd do this, but here I am, back on a retail WoW server.
Now,
I quit playing back in Warlords of Draenor. I haven't raided since Blackrock Foundry. I did play for a couple days in Legion, but once I hit max level, I quit again almost immediately. I had
okay.
completely written this game off for so many years now, and only watched it from the sidelines. Now, Dragonflight's out, and for the first time in a long time, players are saying good things about it. I got curious, so I figured I'd give it a...
So far, his story, I think, is the story of a lot of people. Because people who don't play World of Warcraft anymore, a lot of them still just, because of interest, try to keep up with the minor things that are happening.
go, and see how the game is doing. I didn't have any characters of a high enough level to get into the Dragonflight content, so I guess I'll start with the
Ooh.
pre-Dragonflight stuff. I decided to start a new character to get a feel for the game again, and to my surprise, leveling felt good. I mean, really good. The
Hmm.
combat felt good, the updated graphics look great, the updated UI is much appreciated, and I love the new talent trees. I was skeptical of level scaling at first, and I don't think it's perfect by any means, but not having to trudge through every expansion to get to max level is a drastic improvement in my opinion.
That's true.
It's kind of funny that I can solo some dungeons at level 10. It's not great XP, but it's a mild challenge and entertaining for a few runs. I do like
Wow.
that I get to choose what expansion to level through, as Classic, BC, and Wrath have always been my favorites. It's strange that I can't automatically queue for every expansion's dungeons, and I had to reach certain levels to unlock a lot of them. I thought they were supposed to scale, but whatever, not a big deal. The leveling was fast
Questionable, yeah.
and rewarding, especially through dungeons, and I'm really glad I did this first. Replaying the old dungeons was very nostalgic. It made me want to log in. My muscle memory had come back at this point, and I'd figured I'd log into my old main and see some of the new content. I loaded into a zone I can't remember, unsure of what I was doing last, as is the custom, and queued for a dungeon.
Interesting.
With the level scaling, I could do the old ones. I zoned in, and I died. A lot. I couldn't hold threat, I was doing pitiful damage, and even trash mobs were smacking me for large portions of my health bar.
Is it because the gear can't scale properly because he has the old gear? That would be very interesting if that was the case.
The crazy part is, these are the dungeons that I could solo on a level 10. It took me a while to realize that when they did the level squish, the gear I had became basically useless. So I tried questing
Oh.
to get some gear so I could do dungeons. Small problem though, I was leveling faster than I was getting gear, and the gear I was getting wasn't that great. So the problem only got worse. I did a little
Dude, this is the exact same problem that I had when I, for some stupid reason, decided to come back in Shadowlands for like a week and I needed to level up a rogue. Dude, Undead Rogue, I did not get a weapon upgrade before level 60. At level 60, that was the first time I found a weapon upgrade. Can you imagine that? Thankfully, the scaling prevented my weapon from sucking, but I was pretty much doing level 1 to 60 with a white dagger. I'm not even kidding me. You know, I did all the quests in proper, and there was only one dagger reward at the very, very beginning at like level 10, and I skipped it because I thought, well, this dagger is not that great, honestly, and the other option is like super much better. And then I did not find a single dagger drop from any quests, any dungeons, anything. And you know what's the worst part about that experience? Is the fact when I got to level 60, and I finally got the dagger upgrade, man, it was horrible. That dagger was literally 5 times better than what I was previously using. And you know what happened? I equip it, and I go on the mob because I'm like, oh my god, now I'll pretty much just one-shot it. And you know what happened? Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing happened. My damage was barely increased. How is this a thing, Blizzard? How are you capable of doing this? I have a white dagger that says 2 DPS on it. I'm level 60. I do not get a single upgrade for it. And then when I get an upgrade that's literally astronomical leagues better than what it previously had, and I do it barely any more damage. I just was shocked. It was such a tremendously horrible experience.
A little bit of the Legion stuff that I hadn't finished to unlock the Nightfallen. And oh my god, is this boring. I really hate the direction Blizzard has taken WoW storytelling. I'm the super amazing chosen one that is known and respected by every major character in the universe.
You ride on
Only
Malfurion?
I can save the world from the coming threat. I knew this was going to happen, but I figured I could power through it. One thing I didn't realize is that nearly every questline devolves down into talk to an NPC, wait for them to dump exposition,
Yep.
wait for them to slowly walk to a spot 20 feet away, and repeat. Then I made
The entrance to the Shadowlands, bruh, where you have to walk at 10% your normal speed to pick up the pieces of the crown and then just whoosh them to the side. Oh my god, that was so stupid, long, and unnecessary in my opinion.
made the mistake of starting the battle for Azeroth quests, and immediately lost an inventory spot permanently to this stupid, useless necklace. Seriously,
Wow.
why can't I delete this thing? Or my useless artifact weapon? Alright, maybe Shadowlands is better.
No,
Oh
that's
my
a
god,
mistake.
this is the worst intro quest line I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
The waiting for exposition dumps only increased.
The Maw is just the most horrible, annoying, frustrating zone ever. And it's bleak. You can't make a zone this bad and then make it bleak, because that like quadruples the unsatisfactory levels you get.
Then, when I finally get into the action, I'm teaming up with all the faction leaders and major lore characters like I'm a member of the Avengers, but I'm the strongest and best among them, and only I can save us all.
Damn right.
This was painful to sit through. Once I was done with the intro, I immediately went back to Azeroth, and I don't think I will ever go back here ever again.
Smart.
World of Warcraft's storytelling since around the end of MoP has felt awful. I get that they were going for a more cinematic experience, but I can't skip these cutscenes fast enough. I just don't care about anything going on. I'd rather go kill boars or find Mancrick's wife again.
That is actually so true. I never thought about this. The fact that they implement these long, drawn-out situations where you just need to, like, wait, and it's so boring. It's so on the rails. And the truth is, it's like, how do they do it? Considering they know that a lot of people don't care about the lore at all. Why completely gate the experience of Shadowlands and so many other things by making it that you need to absorb the lore in its next position of what's happening? Like, why? That is such a turn off for anyone who doesn't care about the lore.
Just doesn't feel like WoW anymore. But it does feel familiar, and I couldn't quite put my finger on why for a while. But then I realized, WoW's storytelling for the past decade feels like all those MMOs that tried to kill WoW back in the day. You know, the ones that came out between 2008 and 2000.
Hey, Rift was my actual favorite MMO. That game, dude, the fact that you could just almost combine any class, well, you could combine any 3 classes that you wanted. It was so good. I absolutely loved it. Don't talk shit on Rift.
13. That's basically what WoW has become. It makes me feel alienated from this game, and I absolutely hate it. Eventually, I noticed that my heirlooms that I outleveled by nearly 10 levels turned out to be way more powerful than the garbage epics I had.
Probably.
So I dropped most of my gold into upgrading them a bit further to start doing dungeons. It helped a lot, and I was finally able to finish some runs, but I was still getting hit pretty hard. Eventually, I got to level 60. Time to start Dragonflight. I gotta admit, at this point, my expectations were low. I know players have been saying this expansion is good, but after what I had just gone through, I wasn't sure if it was going to be enough. I started the quest chain, which puts me on a Zeppelin. I know it's inconvenient to wait for, but having the Zeppelin take you to and from the Dragon Isles is nice. It makes it actually feel connected to the world. It was something I felt was really lacking back in MoP, and I'm glad it's back. I got to the Isles, and to my surprise, it's not this overly cinematic team-up with all the major characters. There are some cinematics, yes, but but they are placed far enough apart to not make them feel tedious. The quest structure feels similar to how it did back in Wrath and BC, where you get a bunch of quests from a town and go out and kill and collect everything in sight before returning. And most importantly, there was no garrison, mission table, or artifacts anywhere in sight. I know it doesn't sound great from that explanation, but honestly, it's all I wanted at this point. The story, it's actually decent. It's not hyper-focused on me being the hero, and it's not developing around absurd world-ending events or cliche villains that have been pulling the strings since Warcraft 1.
This guy's a clown, that's so true.
The leveling slowed.
Bruh, he's the ultimate nipple. Look at this. He photoshopped the nipple from here to here. That's also crazy. Nice.
Months ago. The leveling slowed down a bit, but it wasn't terrible. Dragon riding is fun, and I kind of wish this is how flying had always been, to be honest.
Yo, I actually don't understand dragon flying at all. We're talking about dragons. The hippity bippity, I am so better than every mortal. You should growl before me, you pitiful worm. What the hell are you doing? How dare you? I'm gonna eat you. Those creatures in the World of Warcraft lore, and now you just ride them as pets. Yeah, on a continent that's literally owned by them. Yeah, that makes no sense that they allowed themselves to be just used as some kind of dumb mount. Absolutely no sense in my mind.
I hit max level with plenty of quests to spare, and for the first time in a long time, I'm not burned out yet. I still want to log in and do more. I'm already planning out alts I want to level, and setting short-term goals. I'm actually having fun. Cool. I haven't gotten into raiding yet, and I'm aware of some of the problems it's facing, but I imagine it's pretty much the same as it's always been, and I'm looking forward to getting into it. So in conclusion, would I recommend Dragonflight to players that have long since quit? Yes. Is it perfect?
Wow.
No. If you loved WoW back in Kata or MoP, Dragonflight will be a good experience for you. The graphics are amazing, for WoW at least. The story is the best it's been since at least Kata. The combat is the same old WoW combat you're used to.
That's fine.
Though it might be a bit more complicated with the buff and proc juggling. At least it was on the couple of classes I've played so far. The 1 to 60 leveling, while not perfect, can be enjoyable as long as you pretend like the stuff from Warlords to Shadowlands doesn't exist.
Yep.
And the 60 to 70 leveling is well-paced and enjoyable. At the end of the day, this is the best WoW has felt in a long time. It still has its problems, but if you're feeling nostalgic for this game, it's worth giving it a try. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and have...
Nice. This is a good review. You know why it's really good? Because he tried everything and it sucked. And then he went into Dragonflight and he was, wow, this instantaneously feels so much better. And that's a good review because good things feel good instantaneously. Let's face it, there are a lot of games that feel good instantaneously and we can't even really explain why. And they're good. And you instantaneously can tell that the game is just good, okay? This is a good review because of that. Wow, happy ending. The start was doom and gloom though, but fun.